And maybe, most of all, whenever someone begins to grow cynical about our politics. Or believes that their actions can't make a difference or it's not worth participating in. We've got to insist, even against all evidence to the contrary, that in fact they can make a difference. And in this job of being a citizen of the United States of America, that's a big deal. It's something we should revere and take seriously. Abraham Lincoln wasn't always the giant that we think of today. He lacked formal schooling. His businesses and his law practices often struggled. After just one term in Congress, his opposition to the Mexican-American War damaged his reputation so badly he did not run for re-election. He was denounced as a traitor, a demagogue, an enemy. Sympathizer. He returned to his law practice and admitted he was losing interest in politics entirely. And then something happened that shook his conscience. Congress effectively overturned the Missouri Compromise, that flawed and fragile law that had prohibited slavery in the North and legalized it in the South, but left the question ultimately unsettled. And stunned by this news, Lincoln said he'd been roused as he had never been before over what it meant for America's future. And so, here in Springfield, at the State Fair, he got back in the game and he delivered the first of his great anti-slavery speeches to a crowd of thousands. And over the next 6 years, even as he lost 2 more political races, His arguments with Douglas and others shaped the national debate. That's when he uttered those brilliant words on the steps of the old state capitol that a house divided against itself cannot stand. That this government cannot endure, permanently, half slave and half free. He became the first Republican president, and I believe our greatest president. And through his will and his words and, most of all, his character, he held a nation together and he helped free a people. And those victories did not solve all of our problems. He would be attacked at times. For the compromises he was prepared to make by abolitionists and folks from his own side. It would be 100 years more until the law guaranteed African Americans the equal rights that they had been promised. Even 50 years after that, our march is not yet finished. But because Lincoln made that decision not to give up, and not to let other voices speak for him. And because he held in his mind the strength of principle but the vision. The ability to understand those who disagreed with him, and showed them respect even as he fought them because of what he set in motion. Generations of free men and women of all races and walks of life have had the chance to choose this country's course. What a great gift! What a great legacy he has bestowed up. And that's the thing about America. We are a constant work of progress. And our success has never been certain. None of our journey has been preordained. And there's always been a gap between our highest ideals and the reality that we witness every single day. But what makes us exceptional, what makes us Americans, is that we have fought wars, and passed laws. And reformed systems, and organized unions, and staged protests, and launched mighty movements to close that gap. And to bring the promise and the practice of America into closer alignment. We've made the effort to form that more perfect union. "9 years to the day that I first announced for this office, I still believe in that politics of hope. And for all the challenges of a rapidly changing world, and for all the imperfections of our democracy. The capacity to reach across our differences and choose that kind of politics, not a cynical politics. Not a politics of fear, but that kind of politics sustained over the tranquil and steady dedication of a lifetime. That's something that remains entirely up to us. Thank you, Illinois. God bless you. God bless America. It's good to see all you. I miss you guys. Barack Obama. You. As Senate call on comprehensive immigration reform. Delivered June 11, 2013. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the White House. It is a pleasure to have so many. Distinguished Americans today from so many different walks of life. We've got Democrats and Republicans, we've got labor and business leaders up on stage. We have law enforcement and clergy Americans who don't see eye to eye on every issue, in fact, in some cases. don't see eye to eye on just about any issue but who are today standing united in support of the legislation. That is front and center in Congress this week, a bipartisan bill to fix our broken immigration system. And I have to say, please give to Lou another round of applause. It takes a lot of courage to do what Lou did, to step out of the shadows. To share her story, and to hope that, despite the risks, she could make a difference. But Lou, I think, is representative of so many dreamers out there who have worked so hard, and I've had a chance to meet so many of them who've been willing to give a face to the undocumented and have inspired a movement across America. And with each step, they've reminded us time and again what this debate is all about. This is not an abstract debate. This is about incredible young people who understand themselves to be Americans. Who have done everything right but have still been hampered in achieving their American dream. And they remind us that we're a nation of immigrants. Throughout our history, the promise we found in those who come from every corner of the globe has always been one of our greatest strengths. It's kept our workforce vibrant and dynamic. It's kept our businesses on the cutting edge. It's helped build the greatest economic engine that the world has ever known. When I speak to other world leaders, one of the biggest advantages we have economically is our demographics. We're constantly replenishing ourselves with talent from across the globe. No other country can match that history. And what was true years ago is still true today. Who's beeping over there? You're feeling kind of self-conscious, aren't you? It's okay. In recent years, 1 in 4 of America's new small business owners were immigrants. One in 4 high-tech startups in America were founded by immigrants. %40 of Fortune 500 companies were started by a first or second generation American. Think about that, almost half of the Fortune 500 companies when they were started by first or second generation immigrants. So immigration isn't just part of our national character. It is a driving force in our economy that creates jobs and prosperity for all of our citizens. Now, here's the thing. Over the past 2 decades, our immigration system hasn't kept pace with changing times and hasn't matched up with our most cherished values. Right now, our immigration system invites the best and the brightest from all over the world to come and study at our top universities. And then once they've gotten the training, they need to build a new invention or create a new business. Our system too often tells them to go back home. So that other countries can reap the benefits, the new jobs, the new businesses, the new industries. That's not smart. But that's the broken system we have today. Right now, our immigration system keeps families apart for years at a time. Even for folks who, technically, under the legal immigration system, should be eligible to become citizens. But it is so long and so cumbersome, so Byzantine, that families end up being separated for years. Because of a backlog in visas, people who come here legally who are ready to give it. They're all to earn their place in America end up waiting for years to join their loved. Ones here in the United States. It's not right. But that's the broken system we have today. Right now, our immigration system has no credible way of dealing. With the 11 million men and women who are in this country illegally. And, yes, they broke the rules. They didn't wait their turn. They shouldn't be let off easy. They shouldn't be allowed to game the system. But at the same time, the vast majority of these individuals aren't looking for any trouble. They're just looking to provide for their families, contribute to their communities. They're our neighbors. We know their kids. Too often, they're forced to do what they do in a shadow economy where shady employers can. Exploit them by paying less than the minimum wage, making them work without overtime, not giving them any benefits. That pushes down standards for all workers. It's bad for everybody. Because all the businesses that do play by the rules. That hire people legally, that pay them fairly, they're at a competitive disadvantage. American workers end up being at a competitive disadvantage. It's not fair. But that's the broken system that we have today.